Hello, everyone, and welcome to You Pick Tuesday. This week we are shifting gears a little bit. We're doing the second most popular request from last week, Vitaliy Ugolnikov, GOODVITO, versus Carlos Thomas Jr., 27%. I noticed in the comment section below, you guys really wanted to see this. And the fact that you got 600 thumbs ups on last week's You Pick Tuesday video shows me that you really did want to see the other request and came close, but I am doing it now. And if you hit 1,000 thumbs ups on this video, guys, I will do the rest of those requests before next week's You Pick Tuesday, and I'll be doing another poll for that video. But either way, this is an awesome comparison. These guys still in the stewing pot? That's an understatement. Probably not even teenagers yet, these two dudes. Well, I think they're both in their 20s, but anyway, probably early 20s for Vitaliy Ugolnikov. Young bucks. Look at the size of the wheels on these two dudes. I mean, come on now. Talk about amount of muscle. It's a lot of these younger guys coming up have a problem with the thickness in the legs, things of that nature. Definitely not these guys. And talk about diced. I think these guys have the exact same set of wheels. Now, upper body. First of all, Carlos Thomas Jr., I think he is better at posing. He's better at striking the shot. And thus far, Vitaliy Ugolnikov, I mean, he competes in the elite, the IFBB Elite League, not the Pro League. And Carlos Thomas Jr. is, in fact, a pro. Go to the front lat spread because that front double, man, oh man, it really had to do with taste, flavor, what you prefer. What you prefer, small waistline or a vacuum. And the front lat spread about the same. I mean, obviously you're going to have a smaller waistline, in my opinion, for Vitaliy Ugolnikov. But that waistline of Carlos Thomas Jr., fantastic as well. Maybe not quite so good in the front lat spread. Higher inserted lats for Vitaliy GOODVITO, but they seem to be more bulbousy, more Dorian-esque, if you will, for the lack of a better term. Go to the side. Wow! I noticed this in the Nick Walker, Carlos Thomas Jr. comparison that I did. The side chest for Carlos Thomas is unbelievable. Now, you can't see the rest of the wheels here for GOODVITO. Bring another version on. There is a couple of different versions that I did use for Vitaliy Ugolnikov, but he competes so very often that I don't think it's going to make a difference. I think he most recently competed in the Russian championships. There was the St. Petersburg Open. But anyway, from the side, I gotta say, Carlos is dominant. Let's have a look at the back shots. These two guys have impressed me. And it is so close from the front and the side. Well, maybe not the side, but I mean, it's close so far that the more conditioned athlete could win this one. I think Carlos is in better condition. Dare I say, I think he's a little drier. Now, like I said, let's bring a different version of Vitaliy Ugolnikov. I think he needs to work on his posing. I think he needs to work on the striking of the shot. Looks like his lat insertions are not quite so prominent now for GOODVITO. But either way, I would, like I said, I think the glutes, hamstrings, a little drier perhaps for Carlos Thomas. Let's go to the rear lat spread. Now here is Vitaliy Ugolnikov, prime time, uptown, downtown, whatever side. I'm telling you, his rear lat spread is dominant against Carlos Thomas. For sure, I would say. It's very evident that he has the rear lat spread, or the lower lat insertions. Here's that other version. Here's from the St. Petersburg, or I think that was first, and I think this is the better version of Vitaliy. But it's not the latest version. He does look pretty dry here in the glutes, I gotta say. Does Vitaliy. But take a close look. I think Carlos Thomas, man, I can't get over how similar these two dinosaurs are in the wheel department. So excited for the future of these guys. But it would be very nice to see Vitaliy Ugolnikov go to the IFBB Pro League, not the Elite League. Go to the Pro League. That's where Carlos Thomas Jr. is, and you can get victories over a guy like this. At least he is in this back shot. Realistically, Carlos, He just needs more detail. He has the width. He definitely has the wheels and the dry conditioning. But look at that detail on Vitaliy Ugolnikov, which makes this actually a very close matchup, side tricep, because I was giving Carlos Thomas Jr. the edge, in particular in the side chest, and this side tricep, no different. The guy is a Hostetler stud. Look at the hamstring. This is a top 4, top 3 Mr. Olympia side lag, hamstring, quad, and the midsection and chest. A very powerful display. Bring the full body one of Vitaliy and perhaps the better conditioned version. And hard to size these guys when they've never stood next to the same guy, a common thread. If they both stood next to, say, Dexter Jackson, he's usually the guy I use. But you can't do that anymore. So, I don't know. These guys stand differently, but I think I might be making excuses. I think from the side, Carlos Thomas Jr. is just that thick, that big and that thick. And I think the loss that he may have got, at least that back lat spread, might be getting it back from the front. No pun intended. Go to the abs and thigh. Better set of abs, no doubt, for Vitaliy Ugolnikov. But does that really reflect the conditioning? No, it doesn't. The guy with the best abs, if he is in the best condition, yes, he's going to win every shot, I guess, if he has the muscle. But bring on the full body one of Vitaliy Ugolnikov. Wheelbase, I cannot get over how similar these guys are. I would expect Vitaliy to be a little drier. I mean, the guy's so young, but I would expect him, if he competed in the IFBB Pro League, so you can imagine this abs and thigh, a little drier, he would be able to be dominant over a guy like Carlos Thomas Jr. just because of the abs alone. But as is, it's a battle. Look at the quads, both of these guys. Most muscular, very impressive pose for both gentlemen. Vitaliy Ugolnikov, I mean, he hit the scene and everybody took note. This guy is a beast, but you gotta think, he is not in the IFBB Pro League. He's not being stacked up against the best of the best. We have Carlos Thomas Jr., who just earned his pro card here. So he has yet to, flower and bloom and prove himself as well against IFBB pros. So these guys, somewhat on the same playing field, the level playing field, but I wager to say it's going to be Carlos Thomas Jr. taking this one because he has more polish. He seems to be more ready. Now, granted, those lower lat insertions definitely are going to play a major role if these guys do end up competing together. But as well will the conditioning. So it's that close. I mean, I cannot get over the same wheels these guys have. Feathering all the way. That's your You Pick Tuesday. Get it to 1,000 thumbs ups, guys, and I will do all of the other comparisons before next Tuesday. Hit thumbs up, like I said, more important now than ever. Have a great day.